question from our buddy John here, who is a little down in the dumps right now. So he says that he's been training jiu-jitsu for about 8 months, 2 of which have been really hard training. He was getting ready for a jiu-jitsu competition, and he did that tournament and he lost. And again, with a jiu-jitsu match or jiu-jitsu tournament, you know, 1 match, if you lose your first match, that's it. It's single elimination. So he lost his first match. About 4 minutes in, he was doing well, but unfortunately just got caught. Happens to all of us, right? He goes on to ask if I have any advice on how to deal with coming back off of a hard loss. So, John, thanks for the question, dude, and sorry about to hear about your loss, but, you know, again, thanks for the question. So, let me get you to think about this, John. Right now, you have inside of you, you have all this pain going on, right? You have all this like sort of sadness about the match. You wish you were the guy getting that gold medal, but you weren't. You were the guy that got beat in the first round, down, and that's it, right? And now you're down and out about it. And we all know that losses are just part of the process, right? But we always kind of forget about that when we're the guy that's losing, right? In jiu-jitsu, a lot of times the analogy, sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail gets thrown out there. But when you're the nail, a lot of people seem to forget about it. When they're the hammer, everybody's like, oh yeah, man, good job, bro. Jiu-jitsu lifestyle, whatever. But then when they're the nail, then they start to get like down and out, they get frustrated, angry, all that stuff. And sort of let me share that right now inside of you, you have this pain associated with this. And this can be one of the most destructive things for your training, or it can be one of the most constructive things for your training. It depends on how you want to perceive it. If you let the loss that you just had consume you, if you let it eat at you and dig at you, if you let it sort of define you, then your jiu-jitsu is going to be really rough. You probably won't compete. You might stop training because you're just going to get you know, you're just going to get frustrated with the whole situation. Or you can look at this for what it is. It's a learning opportunity. Most people don't win their first tournament. Even people that do win their first tournament, a lot of times don't do that well. They don't do as well as they could have. But you have to sort of channel this energy, right, for your training to get the most out of it. And also with that, when you went to that tournament, I hope you got video of it. If not, hopefully you can remember some of the details, because laid out there in front of you on a plate, man, is basically a look into all the deficiencies in your game. When you go out to a competition, that high stress level really brings out, the holes in your game are just laid out there and they're glaring, and you can just basically pick at them. Like, right, everybody goes up to their coach and they're like, hey man, do you have any tips for me? Well, you know, this is like that. You have a bunch of tips. You just have to extract them. You just have to basically pull them out of that situation that you were just in, right? Look at your game, right? You said you got caught in you almost had a sweep and you almost had a collar choke. Look at the reason, like figure out why you didn't finish those, you know? And then again, he got you with an armbar, figure out how to defend your arms better, right? Learn from the situation. Now, going back to sort of channeling that negative energy that you have in you right now, again, you can make it into a positive. Here's something that I think about. When I lose, I'm so much more motivated to train, so much more motivated to dig deep and really push myself because of the pain that's associated with that loss that I just had. And for me, what I'll do is I'll think about what it's like, and I would suggest you do the same thing. Think about, right, the ref standing in the middle. You're over here with your head down, gritting your teeth, and then you got this guy over here getting his hand raised. Right? Think about what it feels like, what it felt like to be this dude, right? It doesn't feel good. It feels terrible. It feels terrible to lose. It sucks. Because again, jiu-jitsu, for a lot of us, it's something that's very meaningful to us. We put a lot of energy and a lot of emotion into it. And to be that guy and to lose, it feels terrible. But it's going to happen. But remember what that's like, because that's the stuff for me, that's what propels me forward in some cases, because I think about, man, you know, sometimes I won't want to come train. I feel a little tired, but I'm like, I don't want to be that guy again. Sometimes, you know, I want to slip on my diet a little bit, but I'm like, I don't want to be that guy again. I got to make sure my cardio is good. I got to make sure I'm in the best shape I can be. Sometimes I don't want to drill the moves because it's kind of boring sometimes, but I'm like, I don't want to be that guy again. And let that feeling, let that emotion push you forward and propel you to do better, right? Along with going back to your moves or your tournament that you just had, learning from the techniques that you messed up, learning from the situations that you messed up, fix them, and improve. The last little bit that I'll say to you, John, is make sure that you get out and compete again soon. Don't let that thing continue to build and build and build, because if you wait and wait and wait, again, that's going to sit there and hang over top of you. Get out there and compete sooner than later. And I would suggest that you don't stop competing until you've done at least, let's say, 3 to 4 more tournaments. And the reason I say this is a lot of my students who struggle competing, typically it's like they find their stride around that third to fourth tournament. I don't know what it is, but it always seems to be right around in the third or fourth tournament. They really start to pick up the pace, and they're able to sort of translate who they are from inside the gym out to the competition, because it's a different situation. In here it's comfortable, you're amongst friends. Even when you're pushed, you're still amongst friends in a safe environment. When you go out there, you're up against a person that doesn't know you, doesn't care about you, and they're trying to rip your head off because they want that gold medal. So it's a different situation, and that high stress really messes you up. So, John, that is my advice, dude. Channel that energy. Remember what it felt like to be that guy standing on the other side of the ref. Let that push your training forward. Let that make you bring your training to new heights, bring your jiu-jitsu to new heights. Figure out what you did wrong in that match, fix it, and then get out there and compete again. Thanks for the question, brother. I'll talk to you guys next time.